everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some 4-color control. We are going to be using, it's basically Jeskai control splashing black for 1 card, and that is inevitable defeat. This card is uncounterable, does a lot of damage. It also gains them some life, which matters a ton in our aggro matchups. But we're going to be playing this. We really enjoy playing control around here a little bit, especially the way the versions of control have tuned out to be really Jeskai oriented. And we get to play a Shiko in today's video, which makes me very happy because I really enjoy this card. Get to play Lightning Helix, Defeat, and Revelation. If you like burn spells that do a lot, these are there. And then we obviously are stacked on some counter spells as well. But other than that, I do talk about some of the avatar spoilers at the end of this video. So the outro you might see is like 8+ minutes. That's just me kind of covering over some of the cards I'm excited about. If you want a more detailed breakdown on maybe what I think the top 10 cards would be, or the cards I think you should be looking to craft, just let me know in the comments. I will do one. But the last time I ever did one, it didn't really do that well. But I was also kind of a smaller channel at the time, so it's whatever. But other than that, we're gonna go game and we're gonna go have fun. Let's go do it. All right, we can keep here. I think seems good. I'm feeling very weird. My nose just randomly started bleeding, which was not great. The weather change being hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold is not obviously helped at all. But is this what we're about? I feel like I'm gonna need it to do 2, right? So hitting that doesn't seem like great. I think just playing Sacred Foundry, taking 1 damage here is better to like fire magic both of these. Exactly. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, we're gonna take the draw here. It's colorless that I need. Play here. Pass. And then we're looking to fire magic, blow up all these. Especially if they play a second, like, Needlehead. If it's Screaming Nemesis, unfortunately, we're gonna do this. Take all those out. We still end up taking 3, which sucks, obviously, but kind of is what it is. Maybe we could have just countered it and then fired magic on my upkeep, but I don't know. Pop this. Have Get Lost available for the second go around. And then maybe get into our counter spell. Maybe use our flanker for some life gain. Sure. Yeah. We'll take care of that. No creature, hopefully. Yeah, sure, dude. Yeah, I'll take my draw. Draw. It does have first strike, which is kind of tough. I mean, let's see what happens. Maybe they'll do the same thing they did before where they didn't really want to commit to the Razorhead. Alright, we actually get a good block here because of that. Weren't going to get a good block initially, but Ain't Too Life, Scry 2 seems pretty good. Rides in a very good card to pick up here. Get to take that out. Sure. Oh yeah, we'll draw. Yep. Understand. We could wait. I'm just gonna do this now. I don't want them to be able to use their map tokens for free. And we'll pass. Now we have a hard counter spell. We have a No More Lies. No More Lies picks that off, so we might as well use it. Because we got rid of their land. They don't have enough mana. At some point they could play a land, and then we get in trouble for it. But oh, look at that! Who would have thought? A little brutal, obviously. Not sequenced correctly, but they wanted to use the map to see if they hit a land, so I don't blame them. I don't think what they did was wrong. I'm just gonna wait. Too free to not do this. Go ahead, lightning strike me, dude. First lightning's pretty good. We'll let that happen though. There's so much better stuff to hit, and we just take 4 damage. Use our life as a cushion. Take another damage here, I guess. Land? Honestly, it might actually just be this. Just stock up is real likely to hit a land or that exact scenario happens. You play surveillance, so I think we just have to wait. I think the only way we lose this is by kind of overextending a little. Okay, I'm sorry, opponent. That's tough. All right, go ahead. I can just Sky Revelation. Sure. Share that. Take their map. Ineffective. Pass. There's the surveil land we were kind of talking about previously. Another land. I'll just bend that. Don't really need it right now. Pass. We're definitely looking to Revelation more than anything. Perfect card to Revelation here. So we want to return a map. We want to kill this. Then that should be GG's if there's to ever be one. But they can obviously stay as long as they'd like. Stock up. We're looking for Lightning Helix. And Star Charts could probably do it. Basically going to see if we have guaranteed lethal here. This is 6. Inevitable defeat seems good. We'll just take it. And then I can do 3 to them, put them to 14, deal 8. Not enough, so we just do this and hold everything up. And now we just have guaranteed lethal, right? On red, drew a little too many lands. We kept them under control for a bit, but 8 out of 19 is pretty high. Actually, they hit 9 out of 19. That is definitely way too high. About 50-50 on that, when it's going to be more of like the 20-ish, 30-ish%. But I think we might have a leave the game scenario here, which I definitely do not blame my opponent. I would also equally be as frustrated, but I mean, we'll cut to the end. Alrighty here. So our opponent timed out 4 timeouts later, I believe. And it actually made him concede. 4 timeouts made him actually quit the game. Nice. I didn't actually think it was going to. I was going to do something kind of funny. And I was going to inevitable defeat their map token. So it hit him for 3 because I think it's kind of funny. But either way, we take the win. We move on. Well, no red mana. I have a surveil. We can get in trouble with this hand, but I'm going to try it. Immortalize a good rip. There's the red mana. As I felt like we have obviously chances to get to the red mana. It's just more or less we have to do that. Here's a slick shot. Thankfully, we can play this Verge for free. Now we'll pass. I can either counterspell like a Screaming Nemesis here, which is just good value. Yeah, Sky Control. Don't worry about it. If they go for the spell route, we obviously get the Lightning Helix, the Slick Shot, which obviously feels great. I just have Counterspell. I don't think they have much else, but we'll just basically negate the Lightning Helix by Lightning Helixing their creature. And now we have a Rides in. I think we take this opportunity to get our Watery Grave in tapped. We have the blue and the white. I definitely didn't mess that mana up. I actually got a little scared. They could always play a land after this, so I don't even want to take that risk of them playing a land and then Burst Lightning it. As we see, they don't have it because obviously we'd love to hit them with the Rides in, but I do think now they don't have a land, so I could be a little bit more free-flowing with what I want to do. 3 mana. They can loop this, I guess. Rides into here. Beanstalk trigger, I'll draw a card. Obviously, I'm joking. This trigger would happen even if we responded with a get lost, so there's no point. Shelter by Ghost makes sense to me to get rid of in this matchup. We're going to make ourselves a bit vulnerable. We're going to go for Lance. You find it. Blue, white, 3 mana. I think I take No More Lies. And we have the blue and the white. We shock this in. We have a counterspell up. We have 2 Get Lost available. Obviously, that Consult the Star Charts was pretty, like, attractive. I really wanted it, but, I mean, we're just going to use their counterspells. Sure. No problemo. Alright. We do need to use these defeats. We need to use them as life gain. Sure. Huh? Yeah. Sure. Can't be countered. I have... Alright, shocking up. Basically, remove that creature and counter the shock to some extent. Obviously, it's not a full counter, but you know what I mean. 10 life, 3 lands. 4 lands. And more lines not good really anymore, because if they hit one more... As I say that, I'll keep it, I guess. Just seems weird. Actually, I don't know, because if they rip a land, being able to counter a burst lightning would be great. Go ahead. We'll counter that. Basically, our attempt to, I guess. I forgot that they hit the land. I told myself burst lightning, so I immediately tried to counter burst lightning. That they kicked. I don't know why I did that. I played myself, I suppose. So now we can flanker, gain 2 life, put ourselves back in that like comfortable position. We have plenty of blue mana. Not gonna matter too much. And 2 scry 2. Deal. Deal, deal, deal. Just hold for a turn. We are still at a vulnerable life total, so I don't really want to risk it that bad. Huh. Here. Counter that. Do this, gain some life. Now we get to full swing the game. Yeah, I told myself with the No More Lies, I said, oh, if they kick a burst lightning, I can counter it. And then they cast a lightning helix, and I said, oh, exactly what I said. And then I like snapped it off, and I don't know. I do some dumb stuff sometimes, but that's okay. All right, so going first here, I'm not a fan of these. Oh man. Don't be like me, kids, bro. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. This is such an irresponsible keep, but it's best to one, so we'll live up to the dream. Maybe it was the perfect keep. You don't know me. Buckle in. 45 minutes. Here we come. 45 minutes, bro. 45 minutes of pure love, pain, and glory. What are you gonna do? Yeah, go for the land. Ooh. Boom. Not a card that I would necessarily love to counter if I'm them, but a card you might have to. Oh, use it. Let us play this tapped. Hopefully they just like jam a stock up here. Here. Consult. Ah, no, 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 no. No, no, no. So they have a village. I'm just not. We're just not doing this. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to have value off these cards later. I have to get value off them while I can. Now what we do is we jam the Shiko. Sure, dude. I guess we have to. Oh, you do. So now if they go for a land and they miss, well, they probably won't miss, to be honest. They'll probably find a land. But if we can hit a land, we can just Sky Revelation here. Dang it. A land would have been so good here. And now they find one. And now we're not finding what we need. It's weird to be like, man, a land would be so sick, right? Huh. I'll budge first. I will totally budge first. This better be a 3 steps ahead. Sure. Also, them having a Mistrise village and us not is so brutal. Just makes every counterspell in our hand bad. Oh, bro. Speaking of literally a horrible draw. Other. I'll counter that all day. I do that all day. Remember, this doesn't give them a mana, so they couldn't pay into it to cast that. Bro, give me a land, please. If I was Mono Red, you would have given me the land by now. How do you feel watching 2 control decks miss their land drops every turn? I know I have way more to kind of operate with than them. Oh, they're discarding. It's, yeah. Okay. Show it to me. Show me that mystical teaching you got. Ah. Fair enough. I am at 13. Just crazy. How did I... Oh, yeah, because this and that? How much damage did it? Oh, and I guess I used that, yeah. Oh, I realized you just did this just now on their... in combat. Oops. This would allow them to stock up, which is actually kind of bad. I'll do it too. I want my life back. I'll give you the life back. Turn. Oh, nice! We hit the magic number. What an awful game. Just straight up. What an awful game. That was horrible. I'm sorry. Although, no more lives on the draw can sometimes just be too slow, which is weird. He's like 3 steps ahead, but hopefully Lightning Helix can rebound it if that's the type of matchup it becomes. Seems like it's Mill. Sure. I mean, yeah, it's Mill. We just need them not to play the 1 card. I don't really want to waste my defeat on it. Rye. Okay. Starting town. We pass. No more lives held up. I don't think combat damage is a thing I have to be afraid of in this match. I think we just have to have a counterspell every step of the way. That little silly artifact. No? Okay. Here, I think we're perfectly fine with shocking in lands and stuff. If they turn around and are randomly a super aggressive deck playing this random card for some reason, then sure, you got me, dude. You know what I mean? But until then, I'm just not budging. Like that. if they want to use these to look, if they want to play Anticipate, be my guest. If you would never counter and Anticipate, then don't ever counter that. If they kick it, they're going to grab 2 cards. That's a lot different. Memory Deluge is counterable. You know what I mean? But Consult Star Charts for 2, I don't think is ever really worth countering. Unless you know for a fact your opponent's missing like lands or something. And you really just need a turn on them. Other than that, I just wouldn't bother wasting your time. Just play here. I mean, I have all the mana available, right? Like, I don't really have to do much. And here, even if they do consult for 2, I don't think I care. I think there's much worse cards at 5 than there is this, right? I think that Board Wipe's just 5 mana. I could be wrong. Like, if I counter this and they cast that just to mill half my library, I obviously feel way worse about my chances of winning. But No More Lies is getting way worse here. Obviously, they could have Counterspell, but we're going to attempt this. Okay, cool. Might have a second one, but we do have Inevitable Defeat, so kind of pop it. Sure. I think that's what they were playing for. I'm just going to start shocking here just to get my mana right. I know I can play this, but I think I have to let this go for a turn. I don't think I could tap out to do this. Sure. Milling over 2 lands, honestly, deal. We're going to try to pop this on their end step is what we're going to do. Oh, it's 6 mana. Okay. Get value off this. For 2 mana, at that point, we might as well wait. Once again, kind of in that same spot. Biza. Six. I think we're good here. And we just have to let Biza ride. Honestly, finding an Ultima here would be huge. We just let stock up go. Could counter draw 2 here, actually. Stock up seems hard to let go. Maybe countering that was just bad. Although it felt right? I don't know. But who knows? Now we fake tank here and we say, okay, that resolves, buddy. This is definitely going to be like a Revelation matchup where we're going to have to cast it on instep and use these helixes to really get our opponent smoked. And even if they mill half my library, I can still win the game. It's just whether or not they have enough copies of these. I've already dealt with 2, although I'm pretty low on counter spells that are relevant, though. Yeah, and that's going to be a problem. I'm going to dig for an Ultima here, I think. If they mill us and they hit the Ultima, then great for them. Obviously, this sucks for us. But you can do 4 here. It's like a really weird thing, right? Oh, they went a Revelation. That's brutal. That card would have been sick for us. think I play 3. Alright, no Ultima, no's. And no Ultima here either. That sucks. Well, I guess we take Inevitable Defeat and Counterspell. We have 11 cards in there. Just to like bridge this Biza gap. Stock up. There's an Ultima. That's huge. That is absolutely massive. We have a land we can play untapped. I don't think a No More Lies is necessarily that great. Because our mana kind of sucks to it. I mean, I guess I could take this, right? Mountain or a forest. I guess I don't have one, right? It would enter tapped. We do this. Thankfully, those are artifacts. So even if they mill half our library, we might be able to get there. I don't know. Yeah. It just depends if another revelation went in there. 1. Oh, 1, 2. I feel like I played 3. Could be wrong, obviously. That's fine with me. Yeah. Not taking Counterspell there is pretty telling, though. Although my favorite part about all this is this basically looks at every card in our deck. They bought him there. Just 1 damage is not enough to even try to go for our Helix. Might as well be efficient about it. I don't even know what they have. Maybe consult themselves. I mean, that's the only card they could have, right? Actually, let me look. Okay, I thought so. Alright, Flanker and Revelation is kind of where we're at. Huh. Let's just be mana efficient. Let's jam this. I don't think I need a Counterspell. I can't think of a single card at instant speed that mills me. I mean, I could be wrong, but who knows? Keep like highlighting their Deep Cavern bet. Oh, they do play 3 steps ahead. Okay. Just haven't done it. Sure. You like my Revelation? It's a pretty good card. Uh, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But whatever. You take one of those. I still don't know if I agree with that. Good draw. On their end step, we can do some cool stuff here. Sure. You're gonna force me to do something. They don't force me to do anything. And half my library, I probably won't care either. Because obviously we have to go for lethal in a spot like this. Actually, they just put that back in their hand. Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's good. Back to hand. Cancel here. Do that before I screw this game up. Back to hand. Damage here. To make a copy is 4 mana. Yeah, so they don't have enough. Make a copy of anything. Sweet. This fire magic's actually kind of huge too. Bad I don't have a red, I guess, but his prowess will trigger before. Let us see it. Here. We just have to make sure we can activate the Mistrise Village and counter a spell. And again, this is definitely a point where we just let this happen. Seems like we shouldn't. But the only card like we lose to when it comes to half our library with what we currently have in play is the artifact. And I can't necessarily Helix here. Although, weirdly enough, we do have to defend against a board wipe. But I think they're going to go for half my library here again. Sure. No More Lives isn't necessarily the best card to be grabbing, but again, if they have the artifact, they cannot afford to play it and mill me for everything. So we're fine to do this. I mean, we have to do this, right? And I think we can find lethal here. My turn, sure. Land. Combat. 2. Helix. Each creature. Do consult. I don't even know. I'm not even counting. I'm not looking that deep. I'm looking at every card left in my deck. I either have it in there or I don't. And I do have one. Alright, sweet. So we take this. We can go here for that prowess, and then at the end we can inevitable defeat ourselves. We also get to cast fire magic for 0. Okay, that doesn't matter then. 0, 10, and we get there. The other thing is, too, we do have like 3 more damage because we can inevitable defeat, I believe, our own creature. Exile target non-life permanent. Its controller loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. Never mind. I guess that would actually have hit us. So that was almost a horrible play that ended up happening. But yeah, I mean, we win the game. Very cool. All right, so here we are with 4-color control. It felt about as good as it always does. I still tend to think I like Jeskai just a bit better. I just find it very hard to get away from this card. Really, I think this is obviously we're Jeskai splashing black, so this deck list did feel a lot more related to the Jeskai build than ones I've played in the past. But this right here is just so good and it's so easy to splash for that you almost have to, because this answers, you know, synthesizers so we don't die right away, or it answers in that last matchup, it was able to answer like artifacts that our opponent had 3 steps ahead for, and I don't necessarily have to gamble everything on an ultimate because you have to have 7 mana if you want to make it uncounterable with the Mistrise Village. But here, you know, we obviously were able to do that a bit easier. But Jeskai Revelation, weirdly being a win con that we're allowed to play, is obviously awesome. We have Shiko in here to copy some of our lower to the ground stuff. Fire Magic as a one-of felt very good. I actually enjoyed that a lot as well. But it's a good list. I think it's good. If you're a control player at heart and you play a lot of control and you think you can break this list down and play it very effectively, I think you'll have a lot of success with it. And I think, weirdly enough, you do have some game against like Vivi, because you can inevitably defeat the Agatha Soul Cauldron and it's uncounterable and they can't really do anything about that. You can No More Lies exiling the Vivi when they cast it so they don't get it back. There's a lot of good play against it. Obviously, playing against that deck in general just blows, but we're going to change it up a little bit. This is the outro. I think the deck's great. I kind of want to talk about some Avatar cards, and I don't really want to make an entire video about it. So, unfortunately, not that I mind making a video about it, I just don't have time. If you don't know, the Apex Invitational Series, which is going to be modern all weekend, so you don't have to watch Vivi at all. It basically... Where can I go to find this? Is this a good site to do this on? I think it actually is. Go look at some of these cards without getting ads all over the place. So, I think we can F11 here, and then I can change this to capture. Nice. So this is MTG Picks. This is where you can find some cards and stuff if you're doing it. There's actually some cards I hadn't seen yet. Foggy Swamp Visions is kind of cool. House Cast, Waterbend X, where X is going to also make it easier in case you're on your phone. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that's perfect. But, this is an additional cost to cast a spell, Waterbend X. Exile X target creature cards from a graveyard for each creature exiled this way. Create a token that's a copy of it. At the beginning of your next instep, sacrifice those tokens. That's kind of cool for, like... Is this additional Waterbend X? Exile X target... may tap your artifacts and creatures to help pay for one. Okay. Weird. This is kind of cool. It kind of feels like a Raise the Pass card, right? Where you get to overcommit with Raise the Pass. Almost pretty sweet. There was just a few of them. And I kind of wanted to just go over and talk about some of them. We were thinking at our locals to play... make commander decks entirely out of new cards where we can. And I've been kind of thinking about doing that. The first non-lemur creature card with flying you cast during each of your turn costs 1 less to cast. I can't imagine that's great. Whenever another creature you control with flying enters, this gets a 1/1. It's also a bat, by the way. This is actually not bad in that life gain deck. You might be able to play a couple of those. Sokka is pretty cool. Allies control have menace and prowess whenever you cast a non-creature spell. I mean, all roads in the set being released definitely say, hey, man, ban Vivi so we can play these cool cards. These cards are sweet. But, like, for example, Firebending Student. Prowess Firebending X, where X is this creature's power, which is cool. So it'd make 1 red mana during combat, which allows you to burst lightning, which it has prowess, right? So maybe you can do that ahead of time, and then you make more mana, and you can lightning strike. Like, this card's so good to be, like, played on 2. Maybe say you're playing Boros, you lightning helix your opponent, you attack, it has 2, it makes you 2 red mana, then you lightning strike your opponent, and then this hits them for 3. Like, that just feels so good. This feels like worth the risk over like a slick shot or something, even though it's technically kind of a bad creature in general. Like, this bottom part makes it good. The top like 1/2 prowess creature that dies to everything is pretty bad. But the fact that they have to remove it before you make the red mana is obviously very nice. But a card in here, Trample, Firebending 4, Haste. If you would lose unspent red mana, that mana becomes red instead, which is cool. Flying and indestructible as long as you have 6 or more unspent mana. That's crazy. Obviously, the mana cost is very high. It's more of a reanimate target. And then it also can make you 4 mana, which is cool. But a couple cards down here is what I really wanted to talk about. Fire Lord Azula. Not Azusa. That's different. Azula. This card I think is really dope. It's probably what I'm going to build my commander around because I just think it's really sweet. Firebending 2 has that ability before. Whenever you cast a spell, fire, and it's attacking copy that spell, you may choose new targets for that copy. I just recently built Storm, and this kind of feels like a different iteration of that, or kind of like a cooler version of Kess. Because if you notice, this doesn't say the first spell you cast during combat. Whenever you cast a spell with fire, it's attacking copy that. You may choose new targets, and it's any spell, by the way. So, I mean, we cast a lightning strike, we deal 6, right? If we cast a helix, we deal 6. Obviously, this is Grixis, you're not doing that. But any of those spells that you can cast at instant speed, this is going to double it. Even if it's a flash creature, you can double a creature. It doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? So, this is super sweet. I like that a lot. And I think this card so far is probably the best card in the set. Flying Vigilance. Flash on a 2 mana 1/1 has been a very strong effect. We can kind of refer to Orcish Bowmaster for that. Ice Fang Quaddle had its time in the sun for a little while until Orcish Bowmaster really came out. And weirdly enough, Ice Fang Quaddle being played in Modern again in the Simic deck, the Simic Oculus one. But this card says, Flash Flying Vigilance. When it enters, put X/1/1 counters on them, then draw half X library, round it down. That's pretty wild. Whenever an opponent searches their library, put a 1/1 counter on it and draw a card. So in Modern, if you're on the play or whatever, or maybe even not, on your opponent's end step, you just flash this in. And if they have to fetch in response, or if they don't, then you just draw a card whenever they fetch on your end step. And it doesn't really matter how many times they fetch, you get it regardless, which is obviously great. And then this panorama is really cool. It's actually the wrong way. It's supposed to be over here. And then, so this panorama and this all goes together. Like, all these go together. I think I have the picture I can show you. I pull it up. Yeah, so this panorama exists, which is really cool. As you can see, Fire Lord Azula, the last here, the Fire Lord Zuko, and all these cards kind of go together. As you can see, the art meshes together, which is very, very sweet. So, obviously, that's pretty dope. So any of these arts you get, if you're like a collector or you have one of those binders that have 3 on it, you can actually put all these in there together and your whole page will be a panorama of those, which is cool. But that's going to do it for me. 8 minutes in. I just wanted to talk about some of these and kind of get a feeler if people actually want me to dive into some of the cards that I'm most excited for. Maybe do like a top 5 list or something. Maybe not necessarily do all the cards because that takes forever. But if you're interested in maybe doing some of these, then let me know. Or maybe if you're just like, hey, I'm newer to the game or something, I don't really know what's safe to craft. I really like this card. Is it worth it? Because nothing, if you don't play Commander, feels worse than crafting a card for Standard and then getting told, like, kind of a bad craft. Like, Firebending Student, let other people figure that card out first. Don't craft that card. It might be worth the risk because obviously my explained upside, but you can do that with pretty much any card ever. But if it's not bad, that's pretty good. 2 of them, also pretty good. This card with a Wild Run or Wild Ride is very, very good. 1 mana, make it have 5 red mana. You attack, that's 5 red mana to use during combat in your instant speed burn deck. You can kick a Burst Lightning with that. That's nuts. But I'm done harping about that card. If you want me to kind of break these down, just let me know. I'm going to call it there. With that said, I hope you all enjoyed anyway, and I'll catch you in the next one. But again, deck's cool. If you're good with it, you'll do well. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.